Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and furthermore, welcome back to yet another exciting figure review. Tonight we're taking a look at the DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon live action movie, Toothless and Hiccup figures. So, continuing our dive into these How to Train Your Dragon live action movie figures, we got this really cool figure of Toothless, like the realistic live action Toothless, and then you got Hiccup there, and the wings are real feel, which is nice. Of course, like the other figures, the box looks like a Viking longship, and then you got like the kind of rocky formations that kind of surround the island of Berk, and then you got that image there of Hiccup and Astrid riding on Toothless, even though Toothless himself obscures that. Really cool. Box art always looks nice. Real feel wings. And then you got the kind of stylized Viking art of the Night Fury there. And then his class. Again, I don't remember the dragon class system. It's been years since I've seen the movies. So I might have to learn that again, or maybe learn it via this new movie, right? But there it is again. And then the back, you have this really cool Book of Dragons, Dragon Manual artwork here. Very nice, with a glamour shot of the figures there. And you can see some other figures like Deadly Natter and Astrid, and Gronkle and Fishlegs, which we have reviews up for on the channel, so go check those out when you're done with this video, of course. But with that being said, that pretty much wraps up the packaging on these two figures, so without further ado, I'm going to take a few minutes to get these two unboxed. Don't go away, there's more figure review to be had. Alright, first up, we'll take a look at Hiccup. And again, these are smaller figures, so they're pretty decent for what you get. But you can see Hiccup there. Looks okay, I guess. All the detail in his outfit is pretty nice. He's got all his tools, some straps, got this leather vest going on, pants. He's got the same sort of Muckalux style boots that all the other Dragon Rider characters have. He's got some arm bracers, scraggly hair, kind of got a hoodie look going on there, some more straps. For articulation, he can do the Exorcist, and his head can move up and down slightly. Arms can rotate all the way around, but you do got to get clearance with his shoulder pads, so there's that. And then, of course, they can move out, and he can do like a really kind of wonky T-pose there. His leg can kick up that high, kick back that far. You can do the splits, and I don't like how is that actually breaking on me? Okay, that did not move well, but it moves like that, right? Of course. Same on the other leg. Oh yeah, I don't like how those are moving. And it moves like that, of course, right? But yeah, that pretty much wraps up Hiccup. Pretty simple figure. Alright, here is the new Toothless figure. It's got the real feel wings. Now, real quick here, I do want to do a comparison with the live action movie Toothless and the animated movie Toothless. So, the most recent one I have was obviously from How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. So, here's the movie version. And then bringing in, wow, he's dusty. He's been sitting for a while. Anyway, here is the How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World Toothless, right? So just a simple single-carded figure. Nothing crazy was going on with this one. But you can see, very cartoony, obviously. And people are saying that this new live-action one still looks cartoony, but it's like, I feel like if they had changed it too much, it would have just not looked like Toothless. But you can see right here, Toothless next to his new movie figure. And yeah, like this is like really great. You can see the evolution here, like the animated movie and kind of cartoon design for the character, and then like the live action film design for the character. So it's still Toothless. It just doesn't have the stylized cartoon proportions. It's Toothless, but if he were like supposed to be like a real animal, right? But really cool. Move this the Hidden World Toothless off to the side and take a look at the new figure. These are some nice wings. I like these. But you can see Hiccup has put all of that gear on him, the harness, the saddle, even that little bit of like the kind of gear that has his tail fin attached to it, right? And even like bringing in the old one again, you can see the old one has the design for like the tail fin. Like you can see that there is the design for it. It's just not painted. Whereas this new one is painted and painted quite nicely. So I really like that. And you got the fins, all these look great. There's not a lot of like scale detail. There's lots of scale detail here in the wings, right? And a little bit here on the back, and you know, there's some on the head and on the legs, but for most of the figure, it's just bare. I mean, it's still, again, it still looks like live action Toothless, but I feel like, you know, to further sell that point, they should have just covered the whole body, the whole figure in scales, and they just neglected to do that. But, you know, you got the beefy legs. It's got like some like spikes coming off his like forearms and like the back of his heels here. Really cool. And now he does have a opening mouth, and it's on a hinge, so it just goes back into place, but you can see that. So that's pretty cool. His wings do kind of flap, but that's just because they're on a hinge, right? So there's that. The tail does kind of rotate, but that's mainly just because that's where it attaches when you get it out of the box. And of course, his legs move forward and back on all four of them, right? So that's pretty cool. So it's not a bad figure. Surprisingly enough, now I do like this figure, okay? I don't have anything against this figure. But it's like, how does the classic animated film version of the character have like all scales all over the body, everywhere? But then this new one just kind of haphazardly scatters scales wherever, right? This one has scales everywhere. All kinds of scales. Scoots, regular scales, osteoderms, plastioderms, spikes, everything. And then this is like only where you know, needed, right? I don't know. The old Toothless is seeming like the better figure, at least sculpt-wise. All right, real quick here. Here is Hiccup riding on Toothless, and this just completes the look, okay? Now, the other figures looked really good with the Vikings riding on them, but I feel like Hiccup and Toothless specifically, this is just how the figure should be displayed. I mean, it's Hiccup and Toothless. Why wouldn't you display them like this? Look at them. They look dope like this. Hiccup and Toothless, getting ready to go on an adventure. But yeah, that's Hiccup riding Toothless. First up for comparison, we have Hiccup and Toothless next to Astrid and Stormfly. And these figures just look great next to one another. You got the boyfriend and the girlfriend. Hiccup and Toothless next to Fishlegs and Meatlug. Hiccup and Toothless next to Rough Nut and Tough Nut, and Barf and Belch. Alright, I absolutely love these two figures. I think they're a definite standout in the line of Viking and Dragon assorted figures. I think that Toothless looks fairly faithful to his design on screen. The fact that they painted all his harnesses and the saddle and like the apparatus that Hiccup attached to Toothless to fix his crippled tail fins is done nicely, and the fact that it's painted is just amazing. I wish there were more scales. I mean, like I showed earlier, the one from the third animated How to Train Your Dragon movie had like scales all over it, whereas this one is very sparingly. Now I do got to address the elephant in the room, right? That How to Train Your Dragon live action movie Final Battle box set, only available at Target in the States. Why are they abusing the Monstrous Nightmare and Snotlout? Like, we got like a Monstrous Nightmare mini plush and a Monstrous Nightmare Book of Dragons figure, and that's it. You gotta go to the States. You gotta go to Target and pray they have that box set. And you gotta buy the same figures again just to get Snotlout and Hookfang because they're exclusive. So the set's not going to be completed. I won't have all of the main Viking characters and main dragon characters, but definitely, if you see this, pick it up because it's the best Hiccup and Toothless figure you're going to get for the new movie. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.